All right, everyone, welcome back into another fantasy golf video. We have the fall swing here for you guys, and we're going to be touching on all the top picks in place here for the Procore Championship, formerly known as the Fortnite Championship for only a few years there. Same course, so we should know what to expect for this week. Let's go ahead and get into it. So it is going to be very nice to have this tournament back, to have a full tournament field event back, to have an event back with a cut. The last 2 weeks for really our purposes, really not all that fun because it's a limited field event. There's really just not that much that you can do. This is going to be a tournament where we can really gain an edge on the field or on the sports books as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. So last year, kind of looking at the past champion, we had Sahith Theegala win last year and then Max Homa win twice. Kind of a mixed bag of winners when we look at the past results. So really any kind of golfer can win. We do see strokes gain around the green actually matter a little bit more here than most weeks. So that'll be somewhat of a key stat that we're looking at, but we can see based off of the key stats as well, kind of random in terms of what stats are the key stats there as well. So definitely an interesting week, but again, we are going to have the same course that we've always seen at par 72, yardage around a normal course. And so let's go ahead and jump into those top stat fits for this week. And really the one issue that we have with this week is that we are going to have a lot of golfers that do have some small sample sizes to them as players. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort by stat average instead of stat rank, because we do have Luke Clanton popping in there that doesn't have that PGA Tour stats. Tom Johnson, who I'm assuming just has one start going into the data set. Matthew Naismith. And so we look at it, guys. The top stat fit this week is actually going to be Chan Kim. Chan Kim is someone that when we look at the key stats for this week, which is going to be birdie to bogey ratio, strokes gained off the tee, ball striking, par 4 scoring, and then strokes gained around the green, he pops in all of those. Okay, so he's top in birdie to bogey ratio, 21st in the field in strokes gained off the tee, so really not bad there. 6th in the field in ball striking, 5th in the field in par 4 scoring, and if we look at strokes gained around the green, 13th in the field there, and he's been improving in strokes gained around the green as well. Overall, second best in the field over his past 5 starts, so he is really popping up as a good stat fit. From there, McNeely, someone that has good course history, is also popping up. Keith Mitchell, no surprise there, he seems to always be popping up as a good stat fit. One of the surprising ones that I think we're going to get to value-wise when we're looking at price tags is Ben Silverman. Ben Silverman is 4th in the field in birdie to bogey ratio, 3rd in the field in par 4 scoring. Strokes gained total, 6th in the field over his past 5, 10th in the field. So I do think that's going to be a good value spot for us. Let's go ahead and actually take a peek at that course history for this week. And so for course history, we're going to look at the past 4 starts. As always, that's when the data is going to be the most significant in terms of looking at course history. And I want to look at least one start. The players that had the best course history, Sahith Theegala, obviously really popping up in there. Last year's winner, finished 6th and 47th and 14th in the years prior to that. I think Max Homa has also really popped up course history-wise, 7th, 1st, and 1st. And apologies there. I was sorting by salary, not course history rank. Still, those two are the top ones in the field, okay? Especially with multiple starts. Brendan Todd has good course history. He's at a high price tag, though. 9.1 for Brendan Todd. It seems like people are probably just playing him because of that good course history. 6th, 9th, and 22nd. Matt Kuchar as well. Very good course history, 7th, 12th, and 36th. Beau Hosler's an interesting GPP name. He's made 4 straight cuts at this event, finishing top 30 or better in all those, so interesting names there. But the trend here, what are we noticing? That for the most part, golfers that tend to play well at this event tend to play well at the next event, for the most part. I mean, we have a lot of golfers that have a lot of good made cuts here and continue that. So this does seem to be a course once you figure it out, you're going to figure it out and be good to go. Let's go ahead and jump into recent form. And I kind of want to say recent form in quotes here, guys, because we haven't seen some of these golfers in some time, especially the golfers that maybe didn't make the playoffs or maybe missed or only played one event in the playoffs. The more time a golfer has off, the more variance enters into a sample size in terms of predicting how well a golfer will play. Why were we able to have such a great outright season, especially in the bulk and middle of the season? 10 outright winners, 118 units of profit. That is because we are getting golfers that haven't taken off that much time. We're getting them in a sample that's the best data sample we can have. And that's huge. And so again, looking at the small sample, Jeffrey Gahn, I don't even know who that is, honestly. I do this for a living. That's crazy. He's popping up, obviously 2 events, 23rd and 19th in the database. We'll see. Corey Connors then, though, I mean, obviously really good there. Corey Connors, 29 straight made cuts. Really no shock there. Eric Cole, Patrick Rogers, JJ Spawn, William Clark, and then a bunch of other golfers popping up in there as well. Just a reminder, guys, I do not adjust for small sample size in these views that I was just showing you guys, stat fit, recent form, course history, all that stuff. That will be adjusted in the 9 to 5 model. Just wanted to toss that out there to you guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the last bit of data that's important. Let's look at the specialist data. And Jeffrey gone? Okay, so interesting. Small sample size for him for sure. Other than him, we have Luke Clanton, Corey Connors, Brennan Todd popping up in there. That's interesting. Neil Shipley, he's an interesting click, I would say. Max Homa, Patrick Rogers, Harris English. Good stuff there. So again, just a good piece of information to look after. I'm actually curious. Who are the best California-based golfers? I'm kind of curious. Clark, Tagala, English, Hoagie, Lashley, Patrick Rogers, Max Homa, Eric Cole. Just kind of interesting to look at that in terms of the specialist data. In a weird way, we have seen California golfers tend to play well at this event, so just something noteworthy. All right, now let's go ahead and get into the top picks for this week. All right, so jumping into those top plays that we have this week, the one that's leading off the board is going to be Saeed Tagala. Refreshing change of pace is that the highest priced player on the slate this week is going to be under 11K and under 12K in some cases with Scotty Scheffler. That should make the lineup process for this week much more palatable, much more easy to make good lineups with some of the top end plays. So Saeed has been someone that obviously grew up in California, has a bunch of California ties. That is boding well for him. And I think that has led to some really good course history with finishing first, sixth. Love that there from him. Hasn't missed a cut at this tournament. Relatively good stat fit. He has the upside to go on and win again. I don't think that'd be shocking. We saw Max Homa do this twice as well. Looking at the odds that we're getting for him, I actually don't mind him at 12-1. You know, we're getting the best pick in the 9 to 5 model at 12-1. That feels pretty strong to me. I don't really see a reason why we shouldn't be on him this week. I feel pretty comfortable getting to him. So I think he's a player that we can just plug into our lineups and feel pretty good about it at this point. Now from there, we are going to have some other plays that obviously are going to pop. We got Wyndham Clark, who course history-wise, 43rd, 30th, not the best there, but he has been someone that I think the Olympic stuff really got to him because since then he's been really motivated to play well. And he is someone that kind of like mentally speaking does seem to be someone that plays better when he's mentally motivated to play well. And really, he kind of proved everyone kind of wrong about him not being a good pick for the Olympics. Now, I think we all agree Bryson probably would have been the better pick, but still, he's been playing well is the point. He's another one where at 12-1, I do think it makes sense for him to win. We're getting a top 5 pick in the 9 to 5 model. I'm okay with that. Now, the issue that I have with him as a play is that at this price, I do feel like he's a little bit too risky. I feel like we can get some safer plays. And one of those safer plays to me is actually going to be Corey Connors. Corey Connors is popping up as the third best pick in the 9 to 5 model. The issue with him as a play is that, one, he hasn't really played this course too much. When we have seen him play this course, he missed the cut. That being said, this should be a good course for him. This should be a course where he does play extremely well. I think that's why we're getting him at a cheap price tag below 10K because of that lackluster course history, but I also think that's why we're getting him at 14-1 as well. So I think that's a good number for us as well. Outright wise, DraftKings wise, if you want to start your build with Corey Connors here, I think it does make sense. Again, slight risk due to that course history, but all in all, there's really nothing wrong with him as a play. Top 12 stat fit, second best recent form in the field, second best specialist in the field, really just a stud play is Corey Connors. And again, like if you want to start your builds with him instead of Saeed, that's fine. Then the second best pick in the 9 to 5 model is actually going to be Luke Clanton. So Luke Clanton was a letdown at the 3M Open. That was kind of the event where it seemed like everything would come together for him to have a victory on the PGA Tour, to kind of be the next young star to take that step. That did not happen. At the same time, I could see that happening this week as well. And so Clanton, you know, over his past 5 starts, has 3 top 10 finishes, which is obviously spectacular there. 8th best in the field in recent form rank. In terms of the data that we have coming in for him, based off of all those starts, now it is a small sample size, granted, he would be the top staff in the field. So we love that there. Third best specialist. Everything could come together for him to win this week. I could see that happening. 20-1. I kind of feel good about that. So right off the bat, we are probably going a little bit top heavy in terms of the outrights. DFS wise, I think he is more of a GPP play given the price tag, but he has the upside to go and win. All 4 of those players I mentioned have the upside to go on and win, and I feel pretty good about those plays. So from there, let's continue on, guys. McNeely's fine. Clanton's fine. Brennan Todd's popping. JJ Spawn's popping. Those are all good plays. I don't want to ignore those plays in fair and balanced builds. I think they're all spectacular plays as well. And so I think if we're not paying up for the studs there, I do think it's a good option to maybe go with the fair and balanced approach in terms of a cash build. Like, I feel pretty comfortable ending up on Todd and JJ Spawn in cash builds. And heck, we could toss in Tom Hoagie in there. That is setting us up pretty well for a nice, strong cash build. We could also toss in Patrick Patrick Rogers, who hasn't had the best course history, but also not terrible. One miscut and then 2 straight made cuts. But really, for me, if we are doing a fair and balanced build, I think going with these 3 right here, Brandon Todd, JJ Spawn, Tom Hoagie, that makes a lot of sense. I do want to pop up JJ Spawn, though, as a play for us this week because JJ Spawn is someone I would be happy to outright bet as well. We can get him at 40-1 on FanDuel. That just seems egregiously too low, okay, or high, whatever you want to look at it. He is someone that, if we look at some other sites, is coming in at 25-1, which, given how he ranks out profile-wise, is much more accurate. The one concern that we have from him, not a great specialist. That's really the one thing that doesn't pop for him. Everything else does. 5th best in recent form, good stat fit, relatively speaking. Fine course history, has popped here and can pop here. Given the fact that he is in good form, I like the idea of attacking that and staying with that as a play. So he's someone I think we should be going out of our way to target as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and touch on a play like Patrick Rogers in a little bit more depth. So Patrick Rogers is someone that has really been a consistent golfer, especially lately, with pretty solid form. The issue with him has been upside. We only see 1 top 10 finish over his past 9 starts mixed in here, but been on a strong made cut streak, making 7 straight made cuts. 7th best specialist. If we look at the 9-5 model rank versus the model rank with Vegas included, a little bit confusing. Only a slight difference. 9 in the 9-5 model, 10th in the overall model. So really strong across the board there as well. So I think he's going to be a good salary relief option. Went to school in California as well. Doesn't reside there anymore, but definitely an interesting note. And then we go ahead and jump into Beau Hossler. So he's been someone that, again, we're not probably trusting in cash, a little bit too risky to be a cash play for you, but he does have the upside to really potentially go on and win. We have seen 11th place finish mixed in there, a 14th place finish mixed in there over his past 7 starts. That's kind of been the nature of Beau Hossler as a golfer. This has been a course, though, that he has really done extremely well at. He is a California resident as well. Grew up in California, so that bodes really well for him. I believe he's a California resident. Don't quote me on it, but grew up in California, so really just a strong GPP play. Not someone you would be considering as a cash play, though. So Mac Meissner is definitely an interesting play. Was a little bit of a disappointment. 3 events ago, seemed like he was in the driver's seat to win as a long shot bet for us that week. But hey, maybe that'll mean good things for him this week. I believe he has like a weird putting style, if I recall correctly. It's been a while. Haven't watched too much Mac Meissner golf coverage because there isn't that much golf coverage of him. But he's going to be a good stat fit. Top 10 stat fit, top 12 in the 9-5 model as a whole, or sorry, top 12 in the overall model, 6th best pick in the 9-5 model. So right there, that tells me that he has the upside to go on and win. I'm perfectly fine betting him at 55-1 on FanDuel as well. So we're at about 6 outright bets already. Might toss in another one, but feeling pretty good about those outright bets. As price tag, if you guys are doing a fair and balanced build, I could see playing him in a cash build, but he is definitely going to be much more of a GPP type play. And that's kind of the thing I'm kind of noticing right now is that this week might be a pretty good GPP week in terms of chasing some upside because we got Meissner there, Beau Hossler there at cheap price tags that really do have the upside to go on and win. Then Neil Shipley at his price tag, I do think he's like a fantastic value-based play for us this week. Don't have to go crazy with him, but 3 straight make cuts, obviously 1 bad start mixed in there. Other than that, been pretty solid. Only 1 missed cut on the PGA Tour. What event was that? The John Deere Classic, that's right. Pretty random missed cut for him, but that was an event where we were all pretty high on him that weekend, just didn't have it. Since then, 6th, 40th, and 37th, so good enough stuff there from him. Pretty good price tag for him. Another play that I think is a good long shot bet, I think this is going to be something I kind of incorporate, at least for the fall swing, is maybe 1 or 2 long shot bets that I feel pretty good about. One of those is going to be Patrick Fishburne. I'm a little bit surprised by his pricing, given the fact that in his most recent event, he missed the cut on the number. Kind of okay with that because prior to that, 6th, 3rd, 15th, missed cut the John Deere, 25th, and 70th. So he's been a pretty strong golfer in terms of giving us a good enough result. And when he's on his game, he has shown the upside to have a top 10 finish. So I think he's going to be one of the better kind of upside plays. I could see playing him in cash as well. Look at his stat fit. His stat fit is really popping up. Top 10 or better in birdie bogey ratio, strokes gained off the tee, and ball striking. So really across the board, he's looking like a phenomenal option. And again, I think for kind of a long shot bet, 75-1, that's a great number. that'll probably conclude my outright bets, but he's looking like a strong play across the board. And so I'm happy to go ahead and put him into this build as well. Now, looking at the construction of this, we probably will have to maybe get off at Tagala or something like that, maybe go with a more fair and balanced approach, which I'd be happy to do if we need to do that. Let's go ahead and finish out the plays. One player that I didn't mention that I like, Andrew Putnam, should be a safe make cut. Again, he missed a con the number. Relatively strong play across the board in a lesser caliber field event. I do expect him to make the cut. Jacob Bridgman, I'm perfectly happy to play. Justin Lauer's a fine play there as well. Ben Silverman's kind of the most interesting play. So he's been someone that was playing pretty well for quite some time there. Trended towards like a miscut. We see the trend line there, right? 16th, 31st, 40th, 53rd, and then a miscut. This is like a natural reset, I think, for him. A good spot for him to naturally reset. And he's going to be a good kind of upside play as well. Maybe not the best cash play. If you are doing a more studs and dudsy build, though, I'd be happy to get to him. Like, this is the exact type of play that helps people win GPPs, where he might not be like exactly a play that everyone ends up on, but it's very easy to see why he could pop. You know, 4th in the field in birdie to bogey ratio, 3rd in the field in par 4 scoring. So really pops up there. It wouldn't be surprising to see him have like a top 15 place finish and being a GPP winning lineup. From there, we are getting other value plays. If you guys want access to that 9to5 cheat sheet, well, head on over to 9to5sports.com. If you guys have never signed up for a 9to5 membership, get the membership for $8 a month using the promo code Keep Cashing. So 20% off your $10 membership. Take advantage of that promo code. Get the best value in fantasy golf by joining 9to5 Sports today. I laugh because I don't love doing the promo reads, guys. It's just, I don't know. I don't love it, but it's part of the business. So let's go ahead and jump into the 9to5 lineup builder and show you guys what that data is telling us is going to be the optimal lineup. But before we do that, let's close out this build. So I am going to get off at Tagala, probably go more of the fair and balanced approach. And really, this is going to be up to you guys with what you guys see fit. I'm going to toss in Chan Kim. I feel fine with him as a play. I'm going to put Mac in there as well. So shaping up to be maybe more of a GPP lineup. Then Andrew Putnam does have my trust. I'm kind of happy to go with him. Justin Lauer, we could easily get to as well. He'd be a fine option there. Relatively good form there with Lauer. Maybe chase him. A little bit better of a make cut streak going. So we have options. But I kind of like this week. It's a week where we should be spread out enough, but also going to be pretty concentrated on the players I'll be on. It's just what proper exposures to get to. So let's go ahead and jump into the lineup builder, see what that tells us. And so to get the lineup builder to work, we do need to give it 2 data points to go off of. So we'll round up to 121 for Luke Clanton, and we'll just go up to 123 for Tagala. So from there, we're just going to generate it just to see the overall feel of what the data is spitting out to us, see how much that contrasts to the lineup that I put out there. And what we're going to see is it's not too far from what I had. Okay, so looking at it, guys, we got Luke Clanton popping up in there, JJ Spawn, Bo Hosler. Again, I think Bo Hosler is much more of a GPP type play. I don't mind that, but probably not someone you'd want to get to in cash. Neil Shipley popping up in there. Again, he is kind of at a soft price. They probably will need to get to him. Let's see the exposures here. Spawn, Meissner, Bo, probably a little too much Bo. Chan Kim getting a lot of. But yeah, it really is going more of a more of a fair and balanced approach rather than a studs and duds lineup. But that is going to be all for this video. Again, take advantage of that 9to5 promo code. Keep cashing to get 20% off your first 9to5 membership. Head on over there, guys. Take advantage of it. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to this video as well. If you guys want the football content that I've been putting out, head on over to the main channel, 9to5 Sports on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on your builds and your bets. And as always, let's keep cashing.